Hello Pisces, and welcome back to Intuitive Energies. My name is Jane, and today we're going to be talking about this morning, what we were talking about. And I named that video Tenderness and Communications because I think that that's really what's needed, okay? A more tender view, a more forgiving view, okay? We're so already on the attack that I think a lot of our compassion and our nurturing qualities have been forgotten or just dismissed, okay? So it's almost like we're trying to bring things to the surface, but we're using such an aggressive behavior to do it that the messages are being buried in the way it's being presented. Does that make any sense? Okay, so I'm going to let Spirit talk now, okay? My name is Jane. This is Intuitive Energies. I like to talk to the Pisces Collective because I feel their energy feels a lot more in tune with mine, and it's easier for me. But it doesn't matter if you're Pisces or not and you're here and watching. I'm grateful, okay? They talk about messages that resonate all across the world to everybody, okay? Such as these videos today, they resonate with everybody, okay? So let's see here. This is the soul's journey. I'm going to pull a few chakra cards too. So I'm going to let Spirit talk, okay? Right, acceptance. Beautiful. Okay? I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Sometimes what happens is that there's stuff that we deal with that it's very hard for us to accept that there's certain things in life that can't be changed. Doesn't mean that it can never be changed, but sometimes it can't be changed right away, okay? And some things that have happened in the past that can't be changed because they've already happened. You can't go back and change them, okay? I'll talk about certain social things that have happened in our past that have really shaped the world we're in, okay? Injustices that have been in the world. You sometimes have to accept that these things happened, okay? Even though you wish they hadn't, even though you wish you could go back and change them, there's no way to do that. They're part of the history of the world, okay? And there's been many groups who have suffered, many people who have suffered from such things, okay? But the one thing that this is not about accepting and just being deaf and not changing the world. This is about accepting that these things have happened. Our purpose now is to know what we're supposed to be here to do. I know what I'm here to do. So you have to bring love back into this planet. That's absolutely what I'm getting from these things. I had to pull this deck out because I had put it away. And absolutely, this is about accepting that certain things will remain unchanged, okay? But the purpose is for you to make sure that there's a different period of time coming up, okay? We need to react differently to things. We need to change things, okay? And we need to find our purpose. And a lot of that time, you think that it would be to go out and change the entire world. But you know, the easiest thing you can do to begin with is change your own life, your own way of thinking, your own way of doing, okay? As much as I think that extremists do get put in the history books, I think that sometimes the silent crescendo of that roar that builds up to a crescendo, it has a lot more impact than the one who burns out really quick, okay? They become a footnote, but do they really have a long-lasting impact? That's all I'm saying, okay? So figure out your own purpose in life, how you can make things better, okay? Don't live in the past of things that can't be changed. Live in your present and find your purpose to move it forward, okay? That's what Spirit is saying. I'm trying to be very delicate here because I know for some people this will resonate in a very weird sort of way. It's going to hit them in a way that's really going to disturb the way they're thinking of things. But, you know, you have to be, we have to be, right. Yeah, it does that all the time, okay? Right. Okay. So the very important thing is this gossip card came out, and this is with the heart chakra. Right away, what came through as soon as the card flipped out is that it's not so much the word gossip. It's people's perception. Gossip is what people believe to be true, okay? So there's a lot being said about other people without having walked a mile in their shoes, in both ways, okay? The person who feels the injustice has been done, and the person who the injustice, both sides of the party. It's very hard to explain, but it means that there's always two sides to every story. Even when you think there's only one, there's two. My father always was abusive and is very abusive in his relationships. Physical abuse, okay? I did not get any of that abuse. He had me when he was much older. But in his early relationship, my father was very abusive to the women he was with, no doubt. And as much as people would like to hate that, you have to really think about where that comes from, right? So as a person looking at this man, you would say he's an aggressor, he is evil, he is nasty, okay? And that would be... And that would be true in some, in that perspective. But if you see him as a 6-year-old boy who got beaten by his father, who saw his father beat his mother, then you get a different perspective on how that came to be in him. There's different facets, okay? I'm just telling you that there's reasons sometimes why people start out the way and they do what they do, okay? It's not blame the one before and blame the one before. I'm just saying that everybody has stories, and there's two sides to every story. There's the aggressor side, who's been aggressed, and the person who's been aggressed, who has let themselves be aggressed as well, right? So there's so much more that a lot of people don't see. When there's situations that happen in the world where one blames the other for something, there's a lot of those situations that we are not seeing, okay? There's a lot of that story that we do not get the full spectrum of what is going on. Now, I'm not saying it's your job to forgive everybody, everything that they do. That's not right. But it would give you a better spectrum if you were able to see beyond. The acceptance card, I'm going to leave it. It's at both sides. There has to be more acceptance, okay? Only once the completion in the middle here, this card of completion, the sacral chakra, this has to do with the root again. This is all root. This is safety, okay? This is something that takes away your safety or your thought of how the world should be, okay? This right here is coming through. But when you see all of this, Spirit is saying that when you get a better perspective, a bigger, broader spectrum, this is the broader spectrum. If there was a name for this reading, it would be this. You would see that there's a completion of contract here. There's stuff that needs to be done. There's stuff that you agreed to, that you would feel and go through and see and hear and experience on this journey here, okay? I know it keeps saying that, but it is really important. It's really important, okay? I speak as somebody who considered themselves at one point maybe a victim, a survivor, and now ultimately I consider myself just a human, okay? A human who came to have an experience. So I've been through them all through my life, and I know what this feels like. There's a lot. I know what it feels like to be aggressed. I know what it feels like to be the one who feels injustice has been done. Okay? I do understand. I want to say that right now. I'm trying to be as what do you call that? Oh, as compassionate and understanding and really just, you know, I don't know, as nurturing as I can be with this, because I know it's a sticky point for a lot of people. I do understand. I understand this. The other thing that I was talking about with my father that I want to bring in is that there are generation gaps as well, you know, where people were growing and changing. And I feel that this is happening in the world right now, okay? What was acceptable 30 years ago is not acceptable today. If you watch TV shows from the 80s or commercials and you hear them, your mouth will go in a big, oh, that wouldn't fly today. Of course not, okay? Because the world is constantly evolving. But to hate people of that era and blame them for being part of what was normal at one point is just really not helping anything, okay? There needs to be a level of compassion and acceptance for what was, and we need to find our purpose to move forward in a more nurturing quality, okay? Again, I'm not talking about staying in a relationship or in a situation that is abusive or painful. I'm not talking about forgiving people who are doing great injustices in the world. Absolutely not, okay? But I am talking about juggling. Okay, again, they're talking about juggling, being flexible. There needs to be flexibility in what you're doing and how you're feeling and how you're communicating with each other, okay? Everybody needs to go through a learning curve. Not everybody's on the same page. A lot of us just living our lives, okay? So you have to take it one step at a time. You have to be nice to everybody, okay? Right. And you have to take pride out of it, okay? The Six of Wands is seeking validation for what you've been looking for. A lot of people go out on a crusade, okay, to do things, and I understand. But you've got to be careful that you're not doing it to receive acclaim for righting a wrong, okay? It's not about you, okay? Because then you go from wanting something good and to involving pride and conceit. And that's just not what this is, okay? Your purpose is to make changes that will be good across the board for everybody in the world, not just you, not just one certain people, not it's not for just a part of the world. It has to be good for the entire world, okay? We have to move together. All of us together, not just like a few. Okay? Right, that's a magic. That's a secret sauce right there. Okay, this is what they're saying. This is a secret sauce. That's how you have all the parts to this. That's how you complete this. By moving all together, all the parts, all the integral parts, all the elements together. Okay? The whole world, all societies. Everybody who feels like they're oppressed, okay? With everybody who maybe doesn't feel oppressed. Everybody needs to be forward in a positive way. Everybody. And we need to do it together. We can't be pointing fingers at each other all the time. It's just going to cause more separation. It doesn't really matter. It's going to cause more separation. Right. Okay? There needs to be harmony. An emotional harmony. Not an upheaval. An emotional harmony. Okay? Very much a yin. You can't be yelling at people accusations, okay? Regardless if you know they're real. To some others they won't be. Perception of the truth is perception of the truth. Just like some would see my father as an abuser, but would look at the 6-year-old who saw his mother beaten and him beaten as the one who was abused, okay? Two sides to every story. Two sides to every story. You have to remember that, okay? Sometimes you are a victim of your circumstances. That's very sad. It's very sad. But we need to find our purpose. Know what to do to break that cycle. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You have to break the cycle so you can reach completion. Okay, accept that it happened, but then find your purpose to move forward. And that purpose has to be done together. We have to adapt to each other. We have to move forward in victory, not in conceit or pride. We have the magic to do it, and we can find that harmony. Okay? Right. We can't be doing this. This is what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I actually did. The readings all day today have left me feeling like I need to defend myself. And I know I haven't said anything wrong. I absolutely do. But they're putting me in this emotion for some people who are just spending their days trying to defend what they believe in. Okay? They have these challenges every day and they're met with aggression. And I feel that's what's going on. That's what this is today. It's so hard. Okay, we need to find a new way to grow together. Okay? A new way of finding opportunities, of planting seeds together, of building blocks, of things that need to be a new garden, a new foundation that we can be happy and proud of, okay, as humanity, okay? Not as a different people, like as people coming together. And only then are we going to see progress, swiftness, overcoming blocks. Only then are we going to fast track through this. This is a card of communications as well, okay? We need to communicate. We need to work it out. Okay, and it can't be all about one person. It has to be the whole group. The whole group. We are not one. We are not alone. Okay? When we separate each other from each other on this planet, that's when we get into big doo-doo. Honestly. It really is. We all come from the same source. That's the saddest part of all of this, is we just come from the same place. And that's all that Spirit really wants us to have. They want us to be happy. They want us to live as one big entity that's working towards each other, that's celebrating each other, that shows rewards and results. Teamwork. Teamwork. Okay? This is harmony. That's what they want. That's Spirit's message right there. We got to work in tandem. We can't be separate. Separate doesn't work. We've tried it. Blaming each other for everything doesn't work. Fixing, healing. Healing like this morning. Healing works. Helping each other. Moving forward. That works. Harmony. Balancing. Partnerships. Kindred spirits. Friendships. Equality. Love. Respect. Coming together. Sharing. Sorry, Pisces, I just felt that there needed to be a moment of silence. I'm kind of hoping that one day everybody experiences this moment of silence, this aha moment that we're not alone, that we need to work with one another, that we need to stop pointing fingers at each other, that we need to stop just doing what we're doing right now to be more of a yin, a nurturing, a more grounded energy that takes care of each other, that makes sensible decisions, that produce sustainable progress, that protects each other from all of this stuff that we have made important in our life that is not. Okay? We need to heal. And to do that, we need to stop aggressively going after each other. That is the basic meaning of this reading. We need to stop being aggressive towards each other. We just really need to take care of one another. To love each other as if we were the same person. Because really, in the end, we may have different bodies, but we are all from the same energy. And if we could figure that part out, God, we would be so on our way to a much better place. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to leave this one here, because you are going to see me or hear me cry like a little baby in a minute. So I think it's better we just forego that. I'm going to let the tenderness just let the tenderness sit with me for a moment. And I'm going to leave you with this, with lots of love and light. If you haven't written down today what you're grateful for in the comments to be part of the giveaway, I invite you to do that. Again, this was the first day of Patreon. If you want to check that out, go ahead. I'm sending you lots of love and light, lots of blessings. Please stay safe and keep your heart open. Keep your heart open, Pisces. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.